with Daniel Clive Wheldon, a champion whose destiny took an unexpected turn at the 2011 IndyCar World Championship. Explore the thrilling world of IndyCar racing. Imagine an airborne car, a thrilling 15-car crash, and the tragic events that transpired at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Come along as we explore Dan Wheldon's tough career, which culminated in a spine-tingling story that cemented his legacy in motorsport history. This is the untold tale of IndyCar driver Dan Wheldon's amazing last moments. British driver Daniel Clive Wheldon won the Drivers' Championship for Andretti Green Racing (AGR) in the 2005 IndyCar Series. Along with Chip Ganassi Racing (CGR), he shared the victory in the 2006 24 Hours of Daytona. He also won the Indianapolis 500 in 2005 and 2011. At the age of 8, Wheldon started competing in competitive karting and quickly found success. He then moved on to open-wheel car racing, competing in the Toyota Atlantic Championship, the USF 2000 National Championship, and the Indianapolis 500. In 2002, he started racing IndyCars for Panther Racing. Wheldon went to AGR the next year and was second in the 2004 championship, holding the record for the most victories in a season. He won the driver's title in 2005. He transferred to CGR for the 2006 season and tied Sam Hornish Jr. in points, but finished second due to a countback on the number of victories both drivers had. Wheldon's form declined in the 2007 and 2008 seasons, but he still managed to win 4 more races and finished 4th overall in both. He rejoined Panther Racing for the 2009 and 2010 seasons, finishing on the podium 4 more times but without winning a race. At the end of the season, Wheldon departed from the team. In the 2011 season, he drove part-time for Sam Schmidt Motorsports and then Brian Herta Autosport. That May, he took home his second Indianapolis 500 victory. Wheldon lost his life on the 11th lap of the season-ending IndyCar World Championship at Las Vegas Motor Speedway after colliding with a fence post along the track. He was the first driver to pass away in Indianapolis 500 since Paul Dana in 2006. He was 33 years old. On June 22, 1978, Wheldon was born in the English county of Buckinghamshire, in the village of Emberton, close to the town of Olney. He was the son of Clive Wheldon, a plumber, and Sue, his wife, a domestic keyed electrician. Wheldon was a native of Ireland. He has a sister and 3 younger brothers. Wheldon came from a motorsport family. His mother cut Clive's schedule, while his father had been a competitive karter from a young age. He attended Bedford School until the age of 16 when he finished his GCSE exams. Wheldon excelled in rugby, squash, and cross-country running in addition to earning outstanding reading scores. In addition, he led the school cricket team as captain. In 2008, he tied the knot with Armstrong, British Columbia resident Susie Bem, his longtime personal assistant. Oliver and Sebastian, their 2 children, are go-karting competitors. Andretti Autosport has assisted the brothers since 2021. In addition to helping with the physics development for Ignite Game Technologies' online simulation racing game SimRaceway, Wheldon provided a guest voiceover for the television show Hot Wheels Battle Force 5. He gave to the Sam Schmidt Paralysis Foundation, saw ailing children at the Peyton Manning Children's Cancer Hospital in Indianapolis each year, and engaged in charitable endeavors like collecting money for Alzheimer's disease research. Wheldon served as a representative for the Youth Challenge program of the National Guard, which offers assistance to underprivileged youth throughout the country. In 2010, he curated and released Lionheart, a coffee table book filled with pictures from his life. In June 2002, he joined Panther Racing as a test driver for the rival Indy Racing League (IRL), following the failure of his goal to get a spot in championship auto racing teams, later known as the Champ Car World Series. In the last 2 races of the 2002 season, he drove the team's second vehicle and contributed funds to the team. Wheldon placed 8th in the No. 15 Delora IR02 Chevrolet V8 qualifying race and 10th in the Delphi Indy 300 at Chicagoland Speedway, his debut IRL event. After finishing the final 2 races of the season in the Texas Motor Speedway Chevy 500 15th place, he finished 36th in the points standings with 35 points earned. Andretti Green Racing (AGR) co-owner Kim Green reached out to Wheldon in October, asking him to test the team's IRL vehicle and develop its Honda engine at Homestead Miami Speedway, the following month after funding for a second Panther Racing car fell through. In November, Wheldon signed on as a test driver for the team while they looked for sponsorship so he could compete in the 2003 season. Wheldon made a comeback to AGR in 2004. In the second race of the season, contested at Phoenix International Raceway, Wheldon finished third and secured his first career pole position. At Twin Ring Motegi, he won his maiden series after leading 192 laps in total from pole position. Wheldon led 26 laps to finish third in the rain-shortened Indianapolis 500 after qualifying second. At Richmond International Raceway, he secured his second victory of the season after fending off Helio Castroneves of Team Penske over the final lap. Wheldon moved into second place in the Drivers' Championship after finishing in the top 10 in 4 of the following 6 races and winning his third series event at Nazareth Speedway's last motor race. Wheldon drove for AGR once again in the 2005 season. In the Homestead Miami Speedway season opening, he led a race-high 158 of 200 laps after starting from 9th place. Following that, Wheldon won back-to-back races at the Indianapolis, Japan 300 for the second year in a row and the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, which was his first victory in a road course series. On October 16, at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, CEO of the IndyCar Series Randy Bernard issued a challenge for the 2011 IZOD IndyCar World Championship, which concluded the season. If a driver from the back of the grid won, the prize money would be split equally between them and a randomly chosen fan. The driver would receive $5 million. When he couldn't find a professional racer, he put out the challenge to Wheldon, who accepted. He was annoyed because his car was traveling more than 3 miles per hour slower than the others, and he thought it would be challenging to stay in the lead if the problem was not fixed. During the warm-up laps, Wheldon, who was also ABC's in-race reporter, defended his involvement in the race in IndyCar to the network's commentary team. Wheldon was involved in a 15-car crash that happened between turns 1 and 2 on lap 11 of the scheduled 200. Wade Cunningham clipped James Hinchcliffe, causing the collision. J.R. Hildebrand then collided with Cunningham when Cunningham swerved and Hildebrand ran over the back of his vehicle. Cunningham collected Townsend Bell on the outside and Jay Howard on the inside of Hildebrand's car before it crashed into the wall as the car went airborne. Buttermera lost control while trying to avoid the impending disaster, spinning inward and catching both Charlie Kimball and E.J. Vizo. Thomas Scheckter was also trying to avert the initial collision by quickly slowing down on the outside at the same moment that Mera lost control. Due to this, Paul Tracy collided with Schechter's rear end, and Pippa Mann, who was coming quickly, leaped over Tracy after swerving to the outside to avoid colliding with Alex Lloyd. Wheldon was attempting to dodge the pileup and flying debris by moving at 224 miles per hour, 360 km/h, on the left side of the track while running in 24th place. Wheldon's path was obstructed by Mera, Kimball, and Vizo. He had to reduce his speed to 10% of its maximum before he struck Kimball's car's left rear tire at a speed of 165 miles per hour, 266 km/h. He was propelled around 325 feet, 99 meters, in a semi-airborne manner before rotating in the direction of the catch fence on the right side. Wheldon's car turned and followed the catch fence parallel to the track, above the concrete wall behind the safe-air barrier. He struck a fence post on the right side of his vehicle, causing a significant crack in the chassis that extended from the upper pedal bulkhead through the cockpit. Its roll loop and the top of the chassis above the fuel cell compartment were severed from the automobile as a result of such deformation. Wheldon suffered 2 distinct impacts to his head as the post entered the cockpit and struck the lower part of his right-hand helmet in an impact assessed at -30 gs lateral, -47 gs longitudinal, and -25 gs vertical to the chassis. After one yellow lap, the race was called off. The trackside safety team removed him from his vehicle and transported him via air ambulance to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada to treat his severe injuries. When they arrived, Wheldon was pronounced dead. Following feedback from drivers and team owners, the event will be canceled, according to organizers. Wheldon was honored with a 5-lap, 3-wide formation salute, as Danny Boy and Amazing Grace were piped in the background. On top of the score pylon, his No. 77 was the only one visible. According to an autopsy performed on October 17 by Clark County coroner Michael Murphy, Wheldon's cause of death was a blunt head trauma. Since Paul Dana passed away in an accident during practice for the 2006 Toyota Indy 300 at Homestead Miami Speedway, he was the first driver to die in an IndyCar race. Nearly 1,000 people attended Wheldon's burial on October 22 at the First Presbyterian Church in St. Petersburg. Pallbearers included Wheldon's three brothers Dixon and Franchitti, and numerous fellow drivers. The motor racing community, as well as his family and supporters, attended a public memorial service for him that day at Indianapolis Conseco Fieldhouse, now known as Bainbridge Fieldhouse, hosted by IndyCar. The Automobile Competition Committee for the United States, the country's national motor racing organization, and the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, the global body that oversees motorsport, aided the series organizers in conducting a thorough investigation into the race 3 days following the accident. On December 15, 2011, the findings of the inquiry investigating Wheldon's passing were made public. The investigation states that Wheldon's crash was not caused by a single factor. The catchment surrounding the track and the unrestricted track movement during racing were contributing reasons. These elements increased car-to-car contact, made it harder to forecast what would happen around the drivers, and raised the chance of a serious accident. Ultimately, the racing community lamented the passing of Dan Wheldon, a real legend. His legacy will live on forever, full of both terrible turns and achievements. To remain up to date on the unsung stories of racing heroes, subscribe if you're looking for more compelling stories from the world of motorsport.